Hey everybody, happy Friday. Quick question for you. If you're joining me live, please put live in the comments, or if you're catching me on the replay, please put replay. And today I'm going to talk about the addiction and recovery process. And I'm really excited about this because I think it's going to help you understand addiction a little bit more and just gain a new perspective about what it means and just, how it affects you wherever you are in your journey in your life. So I'm Coach Kathy Stone, and I help people with any kind of addiction or recovery issue achieve freedom and power so that they can live happy, purposeful lives. So you're probably wondering, what is an addiction and how do I know if I have one? My definition of addiction, just from my 34 years of experience, is anything, any kind of behavior pattern, either mentally or physically, that keeps you from being your most authentic self and becoming the person that you were intended to be. Addiction is powerful. It's bigger than us. If we could control it and make these changes in ourselves, we could do it, but it's bigger than we are. So we have to surrender and admit to our deepest selves that we have a problem and be open to new ideas to solving it. Most people, like when they think of addiction, they think of alcohol and drugs. But what about the person who, hey John, the person that can't stop eating? Or what about the person that is constantly negative? Or what about the person that has to buy new things in order to feel better all the time? Or the person that's obsessing constantly about another person, whether it's a love interest or somebody that is, you're obsessing about a child that, is using. So these patterns can all keep us from living our best life and becoming the person that God intended us to be. It's not the most glamorous title, being addicted, being an addict, but by calling it what it is, and I know they're changing the terms, but by calling it what it is, it really takes the power away. And I remember I had been in recovery for 14 years, and I had really just replaced food with alcohol and drugs. And I was like binging on food, and I couldn't control it. But once I surrendered and got help, like my whole world changed, and my recovery went to a whole new level. And it was just like amazing. I got new clarity. I could see things so much more clearer. My relationships immediately improved. And I was able to choose a guy to get married to, a really great guy. And I was, so I was able to get married for the first time and just choose a great life partner. So I got so many benefits from really, looking at food like an addiction and making those changes that I needed to make. Now, here are some different types of addictions that I've struggled with over the years. And, some might surprise you of even being addictions, but you can have alcohol or drugs, sugar, food, any kind of disordered eating, nicotine, caffeine, gambling, shopping, sex and pornography, obsessive relationships, affairs, enabling, beating ourselves up. Oh my gosh, I did that for years. Negativity, just being really negative can be addicting. Regretting the past, staying in the past, jealousy, self-pity, control, isolating and hiding can even be an addiction. I know for years I didn't really want to be visible, so that was kind of like an addiction of not wanting to, be who I was. A fantasy, anger, judgment can be an addiction if you're constantly judging people. And untreated, these addictions can cause depression, anxiety, and distorted thinking. So the questions I guess you need to ask yourself are, where do you want to be in 5 years? Do you still want to be on that hamster wheel, or do you want something to change? Change has to come within. It doesn't come from changing things on the outside. It comes from within. So what would your life be like if these weren't an issue in your life? What would your life be like? What is underneath all this stuff that you're doing? You know, what's underneath? What are you avoiding by staying stuck in these patterns? What are you not dealing with? And what would life be like if these weren't an issue in your life? And what if your life could be 100 times better if you weren't, you know, involved in some of these things and letting go of some of these things? I'm sure you all know this, but throughout history, there have been explorers who have discovered new worlds, right? What if recovery was a whole new world of joy, peace, happiness, freedom, connection, self-discipline, and hope? Wouldn't you want to be on that boat? Wouldn't you, or do you want to get left behind? If you are already on the boat and you don't feel like you're there yet, you just got to keep going. Don't settle for being on that, stopping at that little island and thinking that that's all there is, because there really is a whole new world out there for you. So you just can't quit. You just got to keep moving forward and keep changing. And recovery is, you know, a lot of different levels based on where you are at, where you are, what you're facing. Hey, Lisa, what you're facing in your life. So just, you know, sometimes you need more help. I've had to have a lot of help in my recovery over the last 34 years. So just sometimes you need more help, and that's okay. But we all just have to keep focusing on ourselves, because if everyone was living to their fullest potential, the world would be a different place. So we just have to keep working on ourselves to, you know, become that person that God intended us to be. So thank you all for watching today. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Or if you feel like this video was valuable, you know, please go ahead and share it as well. So thank you so much and have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon.